Shalom everyone, happy Tu Bishvat. Tu Bishvat Sameach. Very special night. First I want to say again, thank you so much Ronen for organizing, for bringing us together, Baruch Hashem, hosting, and especially tonight with the amazing fruit for Tu Bishvat. And thank you everyone for coming. Tonight is a very special night, just so you know. According to some opinions in Kabbalah, it's the most powerful day on the year, especially for the future of the Jewish nation. It means for kids to make sure that they're good tzaddikim, even if you're not married. It's the mindset that you already start preparing for the future. There was actually one guy who came to the Chafetz Chaim one time and told him, when is the proper time to start educating my kids? He says, how old is your son? He says, my son is just a few months old. My question is like, when should I start, educating and teaching him? Chafetz Chaim told him, it's too late. Well, what do you mean too late? It's 5 months old. He says, you need to start teaching your kids when you're 13 years old. It means educating and teaching is when you work on yourself and then you can give a good example. Because if you're only gonna start faking it when you have kids, it's too late, because you tell them yes, and they see your head moving and they know it's no, right? So it doesn't matter what you're gonna say. So this is a very important thing because Tu Bishvat is about the fruits. And the fruits in a way also refer to the children, right? But also, and mostly and mainly, refer to our actions. Because the Torah is telling us in Chumash Dvarim, Ki Adam Etz HaSadeh. Means, even though the Torah is using it in a different context, but refer to that there is a kind of a way to compare a human and tree. So you are a tree. What exactly it means that I'm a tree, right? It means that you have roots, you have the body, and you have the fruits, right? The roots is our parents, our role models, God, the Torah, whatever we follow, where we come from. The body is us, who we are, how we see ourselves, what are we doing, especially when we're talking about tefillah. This is another class, part of the prayer one-on-one, when we're learning to really change ourselves, to become better people, better version of ourselves through prayer. So this is the body, is a goof, who you are, and then the fruits are the actions that you do. Mitzvot, ma'asim tovim, any action. You help someone, you smile someone, it's the fruit. So it's very important that you not only remember the roots, it was my father, it was my grandfather, everybody come with the stories of ichus and stories. Man, it was like one time a guy went to a restaurant and he's keeping kosher. He didn't know if the restaurant is kosher or not. So the owner of the restaurant is not religious, and he asked him, "Do you have a certification?" He says, "No." "You have mashgiach?" He says, "No." So it's kosher. He says, "You don't see the pictures of the rabbis on the wall. You see Baba Saleh, you see Rabbi Yitzchak. This is Ilula. Today was the Ilula. Rabbi Yitzchak Abu Chatzir, Ater Zchuto Magen V'Tzina Aleinu. We're gonna bring lots of blessings to all of us, B'ezrat Hashem. So all the pictures of the rabbis on the wall. So the guy says, "You're asking me? Look, Baba Sali, Rabbi Yitzchak, come on." The guy told him, "Listen, if Baba Sali will sell and you're gonna be on the wall, I will eat. But because Baba Sali is on the wall and he was the guy who's selling, I cannot eat it." So it means you cannot rely on future generations of past generations or rabbis and just get away with it. No, you. Who are you? What you doing? Right? So this is where the fruits come. The fruits is the result of our actions. And it's so important because the fruits is, as we says kids, but not just kids, is how we represent ourselves out there, not because we care about our people. I'm not saying that we need to build our self-esteem based on others. It's not what we're talking about. But in order to take the good things of you, you have to take it out, right? Because for example, the Ramchal in the book, Ramchal was Rabbi Moshe Chaim Luchato, great rabbi, tzaddik, mekubal, was living in Italy, and he wrote many books. One of the books called Da'at Tevunot. In Da'at Tevunot, right at the beginning, he having the entire book. It's a dialogue. It's a conversation between the soul, neshama, and the mind, the sechel. This is the whole book, back and forth. Amra neshama, amar sechel. The soul and the soul refer to the one who's asking and looking to know. And the sechel is the one who's giving the answers. This is the entire book, Da'at Tevunot, beautiful book. Right at the beginning, the question is about stuff like purpose, a mission, reason, why we were here, lots of stuff like that. And then he's talking about that God is good. What it means God is good? He wants to do good. So he explains something very fundamental and interesting. This table, even if you're not gonna use it, will be a table, right? Table is a table. You use it, you don't use it. Table is a table. But can you say that someone is a good guy if he didn't do anything good in his life? Oh, he's an amazing guy. Why? Why? Because of his blue eyes? Like, why? Did he did something? So when you refer to someone as good, it's one condition. He did good things. That must be. So this is the conversation right at the beginning on paragraph 18, Ot Yudchet. He says that you understand that God is good and therefore he needs to do good things with us, right? So how you do good things? When you give, when you share, when you influence. Can you give a tip to a robot? You have a robot in your house? So we have a little robot who's cleaning the floor, and I never give a tip. I give on Instacart to the driver, on Uber, anyone who comes, the waiter, the staff in restaurant. No one ever, including the richest people on earth, gave a tip to a robot. And it doesn't exist. Even Japanese people who fell in love with the robot and getting married with the robot, they don't give tip. Why? You give tip only to someone who did something for you. But a machine doesn't have the ability to make decisions, to choose, to ask questions. Machine is machine. So machine doesn't get paid, right? So therefore we're not machine, because if we are machine, God cannot give us anything. It's stupid. You gotta give a machine reward. You give reward only to someone who has a free will, ability to choose, challenges, difficulty, nonsense, and then he make decision to do the right thing. You give him reward, right? He can't reward a robot. So fruits is basically the way for us to see how we influencing others, how we doing, how we bring our potential to reality. So therefore, Tu Bishvat referred to us. Just to understand a little bit of a background, there's actually Mishnah who says Arba'a Rashei Shanim. There's 4 days on the year that we call them a new year, right? Everybody familiar with Rosh Hashanah. This is the new year of the human, but there is another 3. One of them, it's Rosh Hashanah Leilanot, the new year of trees, not just any trees, but especially fruit trees, right? And this is actually, there's an argument. Bet Shammai says it's the first day of Shevat, and Bet Hillel hold that it's 15 of Shevat. That's what we do, we follow Bet Hillel. And in Halacha, there is lots of outcome that we will have based on that when we start the Jewish year, the calendar for the fruits, regarding the giving donations from the fruits, Trumot, Maasrot, regarding Shemitah, the 7th year that we're not working, different kind of discussion that we calculate based on the year, and the Jewish calendar for trees starts from Tu Bishvat. But there is much more into it. Tu Bishvat is a day that all the blessing come to this world. Why? Because soon we're gonna have brachot over here. We're gonna have mezonot. This is the first thing. We're gonna have some ayetz. We have grapes. We have date, beautiful. We have an apple, pomegranate, figs, olive. We have adama. Took some ginger and kale from the sushi. Thank you. Beautiful. And those brachot refer to something very special. Before we're gonna talk about the brachot, on adama, one of the brachot is when you have something that comes from the ground, vegetables, we say bracha adama. Adama, it means earth, the ground. Borei pri adama, the fruits will come from the ground. If you're thinking about it, everything comes from the ground. Everything. Any fruits, vegetables, any bread, wheat, barley, or any other grain come from the ground, right? At the end of the day, whatever you see around you come from the ground. How that's possible? How that's possible that you have a mango tree and you have a strawberry and they're totally different, and you have an avocado that is fat, and then you have mushrooms that it's, protein and basically nothing else, some kind of, carbs that are actually good for you, and nothing, water, and you have so many different things, all come from the same source. Literally, you can go to a garden, same piece of land, 10,000 different kinds of, you go to the botanic garden, you're beautiful, different kinds of flowers and trees, How that's possible? Because Adama, it's full of potential. You know that when the first human, Hashem gave him a mission. The first mission that the first human had was what? To name everyone. He needed to name. So for example, he saw the dog and he saw that the dog is very loyal and he's full of heart. So he called him Kelev. What is Kelev? Kol Lev is full of heart. Kulo Lev, right? He saw the horse, Sus in Hebrew. And the horse is always making sound like he's laughing. Like this kind of sound, that is a laugh sound. So he called him Sas Vesameach, Sus. Any animal he was looking, and he found out what's the definition of this animal, and he gave a name. Then finally he's coming to himself, and how he named himself, how he called himself, the first human? Adam. Why Adam?
Yeah, Adama.
Because he came from Adama. But wait a minute. All the animals come from the Adama. So why you don't call all the animals Adam? Giraffe. Where did giraffe come from? Adama. Hashem created everything from Adama. Totzei haaretz min chaya lemineu. So call anything Adama, right? Also, who cares where you come from? Like how you describe yourself. You gave me a beautiful explanation about anything with the name, because name, it refers to the meaning. So why our name is Adam? The thing is like that. Any animal have his own power, his own ability. The lion is not like the donkey. Everybody have his own thing. But we have the power of Adama. Just like Adama can raise and grow anything, you can do anything you want. Whatever is in your head, you can do it. No one can stop you. Why? Because you're Adama. It means that he called himself Adam from Adama to say that we are just like Adama. You want to be a lawyer, an accountant, doctor, a rabbi, a father, a husband, a chill guy, stressful guy, rich, poor, it doesn't matter. Anything is open. It's open 100%. Obviously there is other components into, some ingredients into this, cocktail that you're going to have, that it's called yourself, with parents and DNA and society and surroundings and different kinds of things. But at the end of the day, human as is have potential to be anything you want to be. Human can be a king and a slave, right? Anything. So he called himself Adama to say, just like the Adama have potential of everything, we also have potential of everything. And it's so important to know that, because sometimes we're putting limits on ourselves. On ourselves. We block ourselves. And the moment you understand, my name is Adam. The numerical value of Adam is what? 45. 45, Aleph, 1, Daled, 4, Mem, 40, 45. It's the word ma in Hebrew, what? But how you say animal in Hebrew? Behema. What is behema? Ba, ma. Any kind of potential, it's already there. You see a horse, we're always going to be a horse, right? From day one. You only grow in size, but the knowledge, the capabilities, same thing. The skills, the talents, same thing. Horse, one day, and 20 years old, same thing. Ba, ma, behema, animal. Why? Everything you think they have, they already got it from day one. Because there is no growth, there is no improvement, there is no future. But our name is Ma. Because every day you ask yourself, Ma is what? In Hebrew, what? What should I do? What does Hashem want from me? What can I achieve? What can I, start? It's always like, what? You're full of potential. This is our name, Ma. Ma Hashem Sholem Cha, what God is asking from you, right? Or Moshe Rabbeinu says, Nachnu Ma. Anything. Whatever you want to be, or you want to become, it's up to you. This is Adama, right? And it's so special because it's in the word Adama. Adma, right? It's like, it's there. It's meaning that you can use any potential. So on Tu Bishvat, we're connecting ourselves to the fruits for a few reasons. Reason number one, to say thank you, Hashem, for all the blessings that you see. You go to Publix, you see how many fruits and vegetables they have. You go to other markets. It's beautiful. It's amazing to see it. It's so nice, right? So first, thank you, Hashem. Second, even more important, is to understand what do we learn from those fruits, right? For example, we have apples over here, mini apples. because the Apple, Apple 16 Plus is more expensive, so we have the mini ones. I love it. And this Apple had a discussion, should he wants to be red or green? He wasn't sure. So he's both, Open-minded Apple. So there's something very special about Apple, very special. I just took random fruit, but just for you to understand why it's so special. Number one, whoever eats apple on Tu Bishvat, it's gula for kids. Michael, this year Ben Zachar Hashana Be'ezrat Hashem.
Amen.
Bless you, take the apple.
Amen.
Thank you, we have more. So, I will explain you why it's so special. When you see the apple, they had a tree, apple tree in Egypt. And we say on Song of Songs, Shir HaShirim, תחת התפוח עוררתיך, שמה חיבלה אמך, שמה ילדתך. The Jewish woman gave birth under apple tree. Apple referred to ability to bring babies, and I will explain you why. Before that, if you take the apple and you cut it exactly in the middle with knife, and you open it, you know what you're gonna see? There's in the middle of the apple, there is a little round, right, a dot, different color, that's referred to the yud. Then there is 5 seeds. Open, you're gonna see 5 seeds, right? Those 5 seeds refer to hay. Then you see the string of the apple, you open it, it's connected all the way to the end. It's vav, and the other half of the apple is another hay of the seeds. So when you open apple, right, you're getting Yud K Vav K. That's why we call it in Kabbalah, in Zohar, Chakal Tapuchim Kadishin. You ever heard this term? So if you read Zohar, we actually learned it yesterday about the Zohar of Shabbat. Chakal Tapuchim Kadishin. Tapuach refer to Yud K Vav K. It's a very higher level in Kabbalah. So when the Zohar say Tapuach, you refer to Yud K Vav K. It's called Hakal Tapuchim Kadishin. Tapuchim, 2 apples, because you open that, so it becomes 2, right? And also, who the apple refer to? God. Why? In Shir HaShirim we say, Katapuach be'atzei hayar kedodi ben habanim. Like the apple among the trees and the forest is Dodi, my uncle, among the boys. Who is Dodi? Hashem. Ani ledodi ve'dodi li. Right? So how Shlomo HaMelech referred to God? Tapuach. Katapuach be'atzei hayar ken dodi ben habanim. Why? Why tapuach is so important? You realize that tapuach is, the letter is taf, pei, vav, chet. Right? You remember the class of last week? We were talking about poteach et yadecha. You realize that poteach and tapuach are the same letters. When you open the apple, you see Yud Kei Vav Kei. Poteach, tapuach, same thing. So tapuach referred to God, Yud Kei Vav Kei. It's in a higher level. It's called arich anpin. It's a very, very higher level. Number 1. Number 2, it's parnasa. Poteach et yadecha. Number 3, it's the ability to have kids. And let me tell you even more than that, because it's Rosh Hashanah for the trees. There is another Rosh Hashanah that we use the apple, right? On the New Year, what do we do with the apple? Dip the apple in the honey, right? Apple and honey. Why are we doing that? In Hebrew, it's tapuach b'dvash. The numerical value of tapuach b'dvash, it's pru urvu. The first mitzvah in the Torah to reproduce, to have kids, called pru urvu. Exactly. Tapuach b'dvash, same gematria, same numerical value, pru urvu. It means that when you take the apple and you dip it in the honey, you basically, if you think about it, you take the apple and you dip it in the honey. How you call your wife? Honey? Right? With the apple, kedodi ben habanim, you get the concept. And it's interesting because the numerical value of dvash, let's do it. Daled, 4. Bet, 2. Shin,
28.
Shin is 300. So how much together? 306. 306. Okay? Woman. How you say woman in Hebrew? Isha. Aleph, Shin,
300.
Hey,
Five.
together.
307.
So how much is Dvash? Isha. So who is the apple? You're the apple. When you dip the apple in the honey, kids. That's full. You understand? But it's only if she's your wife, because it's Isha. Very important to do it in the right order, you know? So it's important to understand that tapuach bidvash refer to so many beautiful things. Apple refer to so many things, and that's why we have it. So next time you eat apple, gonna be tonight, don't just be like, oh, I like it, it tastes good. No. Also, the Holy Rizal explained that there is 3 different kinds of fruits. He said that we need to eat 30 fruits on Tu Bishvat. 30. Why? So he explained that that there is 4 different words in the spiritual, words, not this word, and it's referred to Atzilut, Bria, Yetzira, Asiya. When Atzilut we discuss is the thought, Bria it's the material, Yetzira it's the shape, Tzura, and Asiya it's the action, to work. So each one of those words refer to different kind of fruits. As you notice, some of the fruits you eat the outside but not the inside. Like apple, like date, you eat the outside, not inside, right? Some fruits like pomegranate is the opposite. You eat the inside and you don't eat the outside. Orange, you eat the inside, you don't eat the outside, right? Some of the fruits, you eat all of it, like grapes. You realize? There's 3 different kinds of fruits. And those refer to the 3 different kinds of words that we're dealing with, Bria, Yetzira, Asiya. So every time you eat fruits, if let's say you eat apple, refer to work that you do from the outside. When you eat pomegranate, refer to work that you do inside. What pomegranate refer to? Rimon, we're also using it on Rosh Hashanah. To do what?
Mitzvot.
Mitzvot. Where do mitzvot come from? From your heart. Rahman Ali Babai. So it's not about the outside, it's about the inside. Right? Apple is about the outside. Parnasa, kids, reaching out, getting married. Right? So it's the outside. Pomegranate is mitzvot, is your heart to Hashem inside, right? Grape, for example, what's this grape? It's Cabernet, it's Merlot, what's the, kidding. You squeeze it, what are you gonna have?
Juice.
Wine. Grape, it's something very interesting. You squeeze it, you don't just get any liquid, you get wine. What's so special about wine? נכנס יין, יצא סוד. When someone get drunk, what happened to him? He doesn't care anymore about the society. Doesn't care what people are gonna say, how people are gonna look at him. Why? Because he knows what? That everything outside, it's fake reality. Discuss about it. It means the moment he drink wine, he goes to a mindset, is only about me. Anything around me, gone. Now, this is good or bad to have this mindset? What do you think?
Bad.
We both.
You can say it can be very bad. I mean, you don't respect others, you're full of yourself, ego, gava. Who do you think you are? At the same time, Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel is telling us that we always need to say, Le'olam yomar adam, bishvili nivra olam, the whole world created for me. How this is possible? How does it make any sense? The thing is that if the whole world created for you, who is responsible for the whole world?
You.
You. If the whole world was created for you, you're responsible for the whole world. So now it's not so much fun. Before it was like, you're full of yourself. Now it's like, oh my God, I'm responsible for everyone. The answer is yes. You're responsible for your surroundings. So important, because everything around you is a reflection of your actions, of your words, of your thoughts. Machshava, dibur u'maaseh. Whatever you do, you see the results. Because everything around us is the mirror effect. You smile to the mirror smile back. You make a face, that's what you're gonna see, right? So, when we take in the wine, it's very important. If you take it in a bad way, God forbid somebody get drunk, he can say bad words, can even be aggressive, violence, kill even, crazy stuff. But if someone taking it in a holy way, what do we do with wine on Shabbat? Kiddush, Havdalah, Brit Milah, a wedding we do with the wine. Why? Because the moment you drink wine, you remove any kinds of impurity and you understand that it's all about you in a good way. You are responsible. You have a job that you need to do. As what it says, Nichnas yain, yetza sod. The wine comes in, the secret, right, comes out. What's the numerical value of yain? You know? Yud, 10, Yud 10, Nun, 50. How much you get total? 70. Sod it's secret. Samach, 60. Vav, 6. Daled, 4. Together, 70. 70 comes in, 70 goes out. What 70 we talking about? Talking about 70 nations and 70 interpretations to the Torah. How many rabbis we have in Bedin? 70. So the rabbis used to go with Rabban Gamliel, the same Rabban Gamliel, you know, that his son told us about the Bishvili Nivra Olam, went to a vineyard, Kerem Beyavne, and in the vineyard they had 70 rabbis and they had 70 interpretations to the Torah, Shivim Panim La Torah. It means you bring inside the wine that refer to the 70 nations, refer to your surroundings. Everything is up to you. You bring it inside. You're responsible. You're in charge. It's all about you. And what you bring out? 70 different interpretations to Torah. Secrets, blessings, dayanim, power, influence, making an impact. That's the concept of wine. That's why we use wine. Anytime we do a mitzvah, we use wine. Because through the wine, you bring the mitzvot from potential to reality. Me'akoach el ha'po'al. It's not just over there, you're also doing that. So that's something very, very special. Now, we'd like to start with some brachot to have the understanding of the order. It's called Maga'esh. Mem refer to mezonot. The first bracha you're going to say on something that is wheat, barley, grain, coming from the ground, bracha will be mezonot. Second bracha, it's actually interesting, but there's machloket. If you have wine and olive or dates, what you should do, should you say a geffen on the wine and then ha'etz on the date or the olive? Or you should say first ha'etz on the olive and then drink the wine. Any suggestions? It's only two options. You can guess 50-50.
I just did both. Like when I ate it.
I will do both. Oh, no, but if now you have two options. Either I will say a geffen on the wine and then ha'etz, or I will say ha'etz and then a geffen, right? So the thing is like that. The pasuk goes like that. Eretz chita useora, geffen, te'ena, verimon. We have 7 kinds of fruits of Eretz Israel. Chita, wheat, seora, barley, geffen, grapes, wine, te'ena, fig, rimon, pomegranate. And then we have, after second pasuk, Eretz, zet, shemen, udvash. Zait, zeitim, olive, and dvash, honey, refer to honey of dates, silan. We have the date. So what's come first? Wheat. Wheat and barley. So the first thing we do, mezonot. Beautiful. What's come after chita and seora? The third thing is geffen. But if you go on the second pasuk, the first thing after eretz, it's zait. And the second thing is tamar. So basically, according to the order in the Torah, olive and date should be before grape, including wine. But some says, like the Ramah, the Moshe Isserlish, and the Ben Ish Chai, that's what I follow, he says, wine, it's very important. If you have only grapes, you're right. First go by the olive, then the date, then the grapes. But if you have wine, wine it's its own territory. Wine it's its own category. It's something very special. It's not a regular liquid. It's not a regular fruit. You have a special bracha. Baruch atah Hashem, borei pri geffen. So therefore, you should, even in the order of the Torah comes after olive and date, you should say it before. So the order will go based on that. Mezonot, geffen, etz, then adama. We have adama, and she'akol. That's the order. To remember that easy, maga esh. Maga is touch, esh, fire. So you remember, maga esh. Mem, mezonot, gimel, geffen, ayin, etz, aleph, adama, shin, she'akol. Maga esh. Fire touch. That's the blessings. Why it's so important? Because every time you say blessing, you don't even understand what you're doing. Not only you say thank you Hashem, you're asking permission to eat, you elevate the food itself, thank you. You elevate the food itself, but more than that, you're building, literally, you're bringing spark of godliness. And it's so special because you become partner with God in this world. You know that you can be partner with God to create this world? You create your reality, we discuss about it. When you say bracha, you bring blessing right now and you become partner of God. So we're gonna start with mezonot. If any of you want mezonot, you also have over here. And it's very special. I'm gonna read psukim that it's on mezonot that are very special. But first we're gonna do the bracha. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Borei Minei Mezonot.
Amen.
So, ושמרת, I'm going to read it for you inside. Psukim, I'm just going to read 2-3 psukim that will bring lots of understanding of what we're doing. ושמרת את מצוות אדוני אלוהיך. You're going to keep the mitzvot of Hashem, ללכת בדרכיו, to follow his path, ולהירא אותו, to have fear of Hashem. Not fear of punishment, fear of respect. כי אדוני אלוהיך מביאך אל ארץ טובה. God, Hashem your God, bring you to an amazing, beautiful, good land. Eretz Nachale Mayim. Country, a place with rivers, spring waters. עיינות ותהומות יוצאים בבקעה ובהר. Beautiful valley, mountains, beautiful place. ארץ חיטה ושעורה וגפן ותאנה ורימון. ארץ זה שמן ודבש. Wow. So, when you read it, the pasuk continue now about mezonot. It says like that. ארץ אשר לא במסכנות תאכל בלחם. Hashem will provide you what you need, bread, that is referred to wheat. Why it's so special? I'll tell you why. Because at the beginning, the bread was growing on trees. Did you know that? On Gan Eden, the garden that Adam was there, the bread was growing on trees. You had a tree of a sourdough tree, you had a grain, all wheat, you had everything. After his sin, according to some opinion in the Gemara, the tree of knowledge, it's actually wheat. The Gemara brings 3 opinions. What do you think is tree of knowledge? You can say whatever you know. Apple? Everybody say apple. There's 3 apples who changed the whole world. The apple of the first human, the second apple, Isaac Newton, and the third apple of Steve Jobs. These are the apples that changed the whole world. So actually it wasn't really apple. It's a mistake of people. It was not apple. The mistake is because the Midrash talk about tapuach, right? But over there referred to a tog. And when they translate to Latin, they translate to apple. But it's actually a tog. That's why we're shaking a tog on Sukkot, to do the tikkun for the sin of the first human. Why a tog? A tog referred to, it's Rashi Tevot of Pasuk who talk about not being arrogant. Because the sin of the first human was that it was arrogant. Hashem told him not to do, and he thought that he can do whatever he wants. So he told his wife, don't touch, because you may eat, but you don't need to put safeguard unless you think you can do it. So etrog aleph taf resh gimel referred to al tevoeni regel ga'ava. Don't make me be arrogant. So this is a thought. But the Gemara brings 3 opinions in the Talmud. Chita, wheat, gefen, grapes, tehena. Why? Because right after he ate, what was the course of the first human? Beze'at apecha tochal lachem. You're gonna sweat eating bread. It means that before, it didn't need to work. Bread was growing on a tree. Opinion number 1. Opinion number 2, that the pasuk says, "Vatiten lo mi piryo." Chava the woman of Adam, gave him from the fruit. What you can give from the fruit? Wine. She squeezed the grapes and gave him fruits. He got drunk. That's what happened later also to Noah when he left the ark. The third opinion says te'ena, fig. Why? Because the Torah says that God gave them a clothing to protect themselves that was made of leaves from fig tree. So therefore, says that he gave them something to cover themselves from the same tree they were eating. In Kabbalah, it actually referred to totally different things. Chita, you write it chet and end up with hey. Gefen, gimel, and nun. Tehena, taf, and hey. It's referred to chita, chet, chesed. Gefen, gimel, gvura. Tehena, taf, tiferet. Now let's go to the end. Chita, hey, hod. Nun of Gefen, netzach. And the hay of Tehena for the other 5 spheres that we have, Chokhmah, Bina, Dat, and Yesod Malchut. So basically, according to Zohar, the tree of knowledge was the human itself, was not a tree. The human was Chava, the woman. She is the tree of knowledge. And Adam needed to connect to her to bring fruits. Remember the fruit that we were talking about, kids? And he needed to do it with 100% conscious of the 10 Sephirot, of Chokhmah, Bina, Dat, Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Yesod, Malchut. But he didn't do it. He did it from a place of desire. Why? He needed to wait for Friday night. But instead, when he did it, Friday day. And the connection between God and God, basically Shekhinah, the ability to God to bring himself here. In our eyes, it's Shekhinah. That's, by the way, this is the Zohar of today, Chok Israel. This connection, it's called Ducha and Nukba, the male and the female, the giver and the receiver. When this is happening, Friday night. That's why the tzaddikim, they only have relations on Friday night. Adam, he needed to wait for Friday night to bring the fruits from the tree who called Chava. But he didn't do it. He did it in the middle of the day. And who was there in the middle of the day watching them? Angel, that his name is Samach Mem. That is the angels of all the darkness and difficulty, etc. And he's riding on the snake. So when the Torah called the snake, referred to the angel Samach Mem. That is the devil, okay? For us to understand. And there is a book called Pirkei de Rabbi Elazar from Rabbi Elazar ben Horkenus. Great rabbi, was living during time of the Tanaim, time of before the Talmud in the Mishnah. And he explained that when Adam was about to go with Chava, his wife, the angel saw it, he was jealous, and he went with Chava first. And who came from that relation? Cain. And after Adam went with Chava, they had Hevel, the second one. And that's why Cain killed Hevel. And if you actually look at the Psukim, why she called him Cain? Ki Cain kaniti me Elohim. I acquired them from God. She thought that she had a relation with God. That's what Chava thought. Anyway, I'm giving you a little bit of secrets. There's a whole book talk about it. Very interesting. But tree of knowledge wasn't regular tree. At all. We're not talking about physical tree that you go and you eat and you bite. We're talking about concept that is very high level. And on Tu Bishvat, we're trying to fix it. On Tu Bishvat, each one of us is Adam HaRishon. Each one of us is the first human. And we take the fruits and we use them to elevate ourselves and to elevate the fruits and to bring God to our life. That's why it's so important, Tu Bishvat. And it's a little bit of putting into the mindset of the understanding. So we will continue with the Etz. I will take the olive because this is coming after Eretz Zet Shemen Udvash. Beautiful olive. Very important to know, as we discussed before, that olive, it's fruits that is very hard and bitter. But when you work on that and you squeeze that, you get the oil. And oil, how you say the oil in Hebrew? Shemen is the same letters of neshama. Our body is like the olive. We need to squeeze ourselves a little bit to take the soul, to take the oil and neshama, shemen, to take it out. And the moment you take it out, whatever you're gonna put on the oil always gonna do what? Goes on the top. Put water, Coke, Sprite, wine, anything you want. Any liquid, what's gonna happen to the oil? Boom, goes on top. This is neshama. The moment you're able to squeeze your neshama out, you're able to connect. Doesn't matter what's gonna happen in your life, neshama is on top, always on top, always, you're always connected. The hard work is to make from olive oil, but the moment you're there, you're connected. This is our job. This is the first food that we're taking, the zayit. And we're doing this transformation from bitter to sweet, from hard to soft. And it's also, by the way, connected to kids, because the pasuk goes like that. Eshtecha kegefen poria, your wife compared to a geffen, grape, because wife, it's easy to squeeze. You squeeze, boom, liquid comes out. But kids are very hard. Try ask something from kids. Banecha keshtilei zeitim saviv leshulchanecha. Your kid is like olive, much harder. But the moment you're able to have kids and to make them grow in the path, that's it. You chill, you relax, they continue the legacy, they say Kaddish on you, you're good to go. So it's very hard at the beginning, but the moment you have, that's it, right? So it's a similar concept. We're gonna take the olive and we're gonna say now the blessing, just so you know, everything is connected to our name as Adam, the Hebrew alphabet. For example, Chita. What's the numerical value of Chita? Chet, 8, Tet, 9, Hey, 5 together, 22. 8, 9, 5, 22. How many letters we have in the Hebrew alphabet? 22. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yud, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Tzamach, Ayin, Pei, Tzadik, Kuf, Shin, Tav. 22. So when you eat Chita, you have the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. This is, by the way, according to opinions, that the true marriage was Chita, that he used Kabbalah for other things, like the generation of the Tower of Babel. So there is lots of understanding. You take Chita, how you using it, right? This is why it's important to have this kind of mindset. Let's say ברכה ובזית, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי העץ. Actually, it's a good one. Yeah?
Israel.
Mm-hmm. So, let me read pasuk for you about זית. זית רענן יפה פרי תואר, קרא השם שמך. So, כשם שהשמן מאיר, כך בית המקדש מאיר לכל העולם. Just like the oil you use to bring light, you will be able to bring light to the whole world. This is your mindset when you eat olive, like that, schmoozing, eating, you think it's like putting it in the margarita, martini, whatever you drink. This olive actually refers to wisdom and light, because you squeeze the oil out of it and they use the oil in Bet HaMikdash for the menorah. So when you drink it, listen to the pasuk, והלכו גויים לאורך, the nations will follow your light. That's why our forefathers called זית רענן. That's how God called them. To Avraham Avinu, זית רענן, fresh olive. Very special. We continue with the tamar, yes.
Or there's a different energy that when you consume it as an olive and as an oil, it's different frequency. Like I heard something that like if you eat it as oil, then it helps you with memory, and then like
And olive is the opposite, right?
Yeah.
That's why you always should eat olive with some olive oil on top. Because the oil help you to remember, and olive make you forget. It's interesting, you know. So people drink olive oil to improve their memory. It's interesting. Shemen zayit zach katit lama'or. I have to be pure oil, not the fake. 90% of the olive oil you see in the market, it's fake. You know, make sure you buy the real thing. You know. So after that we have the tamar. Tamar is not just beautiful tree. I think it's the palm trees basically. What you have date and cocos, those are like the highest, right? That's what it says, tzaddik katamar ifrach. A righteous man will grow like a date. Someone told me, Rabbi, I had a date last night. So I told them, so what should I do tonight? I told them, have fig. He says, no, you don't get it. I had a date. So when you take the date, there's a few things very important. Number one, by the way, very important, you always need to check. So this is Baruch Hashem, Ronan, you did an amazing job. You bought them already open and clean and fresh, and it's beautiful. But it's important to check that you don't eat bags, worms, stuff like that, especially the dry fruits. You know, they get attracted to it because it's sweet. So very, very sweet. So you take it, you check that it's fine, number one. Number two, with a date, instead of just being tzaddik, we compare the Jewish people to date. Why? מה תמר זה אין לו אלא לב אחד. You open it, there's only one inside. What do you have inside?
Seed.
One seed. Same thing the Jewish people, you open our heart, we have only one heart to הקדוש ברוך הוא. מה תמר זה אין לו אלא לב אחד, אף ישראל אין להם אלא לב אחד לאביהם שבשמיים. So we are date. That's how we refer to ourselves. More than that, Tamar start with Tam. What is Tam? No, this is Tam. You're right, Tam. Tam, Taf, and Mem. It's complete, perfect. Ishtam Yoshev Ohalim, like Yaakov. Tam with Tet Ayin Mem, it's flavor or taste. Taf Mem, it's complete, like Paradumat Mima. Complete, perfect, no issues. So when you take the date, you know, you actually have in mind to understand that we want to be perfect with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, with ourselves. We don't want to have doubts and difficulty and challenges and questions. So when you eat it, you refer to, you know, this concept. So with that, we're going to eat it. I already say it, so I'm not going to say again. I'm giving blessing to all of you guys. I love date. Should not eat too much, as I say, lots of sugar. But it's good. Then we have the fig. Very important, by the way, same thing, you should check the fig because it's also dry and sometimes you can really tell what's inside. But about figs, it's something very special. So you remember what I said that Hashem used? By the way, I usually flip it like that and check it, making sure it's fine. You know, here or not. Can we see? No? It's fine. So when you take the fig, this is actually what God used to do what? To cover the first human and his wife, right? So in Chassidut, there is something called garments of the soul, malbusha neshama. The Tanya talk about it at the beginning. It's referred to machshava, dibur u'maaseh, thought, speech, and action. So this is something so important because when you eat it, you basically connecting to the garments of your soul. And it make an impact because if you think about something, then you're gonna talk about it and then you'll do it. So it's very important to always have good thought, right? So when we eat the te'ena, we're gonna have in mind to work on the tiferet that we discussed from the tree of knowledge, and to work on our machshava, dibur, maaseh. To have only machshavot tovot. מחשבות טובות, it's important. דיבורים טובים. Exactly. חשוב טוב יהיה טוב. Why? Because you remember, מחשבה יוצרת מציאות. Thoughts create reality. Right? This is, by the way, water. What is water? מם יוד מם. In Hebrew, מים. מחשבה יוצרת מציאות. Thought creates reality. That's why when God created the whole world, it says, "Veruach Elohim merachefet al pnei hamayim." Spirit of God was floating on the water. Why? What is Spirit of God? Power of speech. That's what God gave to the first human. Vayipach be'apiv nishmat chaim. He gave him the power of speech. So Veruach Elohim, the power of speech. This is image of God doing what? Water. If you notice water, it's see-through, right? There's no color, there's no taste, there's no shape, there's no text or structure, nothing. Why? Because water, it's the ability to create whatever you want. You can do any color, any taste, and you use it for everything. Anything around you is with water. Water is the proof of life. So, water refers to מחשבה יוצרת מציאות. Also, if you write mime, you notice you can write it from both sides. Mem yud mem, Mem Yud Mem. You realize you read it from both sides because it's the same thing. It's up to you how you look at it. From here, from there. You want to see even more on it? If you take mime and you make 3 dimensions for mime, it means not Mem Yud Mem. A box, that one side is Mem, inside is Yud, and the other side is Mem. You're basically creating a window, and from one side you see the Yud, from the other side you see the Yud, from other side you look at the 3 dimensions cube of water, and what you see inside, Yud. Yud is the beginning. It's Elokim. It's everything. It's infinite. So water, when you look at it, what you see, it's everything. Water is the only thing, by the way, that left from the world of Beria. We live in the world of action. Water was splitting the lower water and the upper water, right? The second day. What it means Hashem separate the lower water and the upper water? He break down, remember that anything is, there is the material and the shape, right? This table, it's wood and shape of a table. He took the water and he removed the shape of the water. So the material is lower and the shape is in the upper world. What we see, it's only the material. This is from Olam HaBriya, only water. Very interesting. That's why when we want to do mikveh, when we become pure, what we do? We dip ourselves in the water. Why? Because all the averot come from tzura, from shape, right? You look something, you like it, you want it. It's the shape. You in love with shape, you want shape. So water, there's no shape. So all the chataim, they come from the shape, from the ayin. You look at it, you want it. You go inside the water, there's no shape. You go back to the material, the pure one. That's why water is very important. We're gonna have the fig.
I wonder if there's a relation between the elements hydrogen and oxygen, like H2O. You know, like mayim, it's 2 mem, so like maybe there's a connection between hydrogen because it's 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. Maybe there's something there that needs to be
100%
explored.
100%. So I would like to say Shechianu on the pomegranate because we're gonna open pomegranate. You have a knife that you can give us. Before that, I will take from the grape. The grape again is very special to bring secrets, to bring power of Torah, to bring the connection, to bring holiness because it's the wine, and also for the men is to find your soulmate. Shtecha kegefen poria. It's very special, very unique, and important. We're gonna take the pomegranate, and the pomegranate have something very special that inside you have all the seeds, right? On YouTube you see how they open it in a special, so I'm not a YouTuber, okay?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, your videos are on YouTube, so you are a YouTuber.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear what you say. So basically, the idea is that you take, right, the pomegranate, it's already leaking blood over here. And what we do with that, it refers to the Jewish people. Why the Jewish people? Because they're beautiful seeds, Ronan, beautiful. Oh, psh. Amazing, amazing, amazing. It's very nice, it's good, it's referred to good year and blessing. So the pomegranate is something very nice that we refer to the Jewish people as rimon. Why? Because the rimon is full of seeds, you see? Just like us, full of mitzvot. Every time you open, you see it. And when you open a Jew, you see inside lots of mitzvot. It's very special. I'm going to say Shechianu for that, because I didn't have it a long time. When we say Shechianu, we're going to refer to all the good things that we have in our life. So say Amen, and I will have everyone in mind to all the good things that we have. Even if you buy a t-shirt, you go to a place that you haven't been before. Shechianu. We're happy for the new moment, for the good things. So, Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Shechianu וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Amen.
Wow. They're sweet with the twist. Amazing. We're gonna try it after. It's very nice. Very, very nice. You know, I always say that pomegranate, it's a reflection of whatever you have inside, because sometimes you take nice pomegranate with crown, you know, refer to the ketel, and you open inside, it's like a lame gray seeds, they have no life, you know. And then you take pomegranate and you open and it's like full of blood, you know, it's like alive, it's beautiful, it tastes good, it's amazing. So very, very important. I'm gonna read inside. אמר ריש לקיש, פושעי ישראל אין עוד גיהנום שולטת בהם. Even the criminals of the Jewish people, the Gehenom is not controlled them. Why? Because the Jewish people are full of mitzvot karimon. Just like they have those mitzvot, you know, same thing, the rimon we have. Interesting, but after that we have egozim. So you actually brought egozim, so I'm so happy over here. You have different kind of nuts over here, right? We have pecans, we have, lots of different nuts, amazing. I'm gonna take egoz melech, okay? And for the egozim, for the nuts, there is pasuk who goes like that. אל גינת אגוז ירדתי לראות באיבי הנחל, לראות הפרחה גפן, הנצו הרימונים. So it's interesting that we compare the Jewish people to egoz. Why? Egoz, it's the numeric value of sin, chet. That's why some people don't eat on Rosh Hashanah egozim. What's the idea? When you see nuts outside, it looks like a piece of wood. What you need to do? You need to break it. And when you break it, what you find inside? Amazing nuts, right? Same thing to Jewish people. Sometimes we look from the outside very hard. You know, today everyone is playing hard to get. Playing games. Because we are nuts, okay? That's how things work. So the moment you understand, break it, open it. When you open yourself, when you break the walls, you find inside the fruit. It's so nice, it's so important. Because when you understand that, basically what you're doing, you connect it to your inner self. And I always say, especially people looking for a soulmate, how you can find someone that will match you if you don't know who you are. I will tell you, I'm looking for a nice chair to match the table. So first thing you're gonna ask me, show me the table, right? First question. And then second question gonna be, what's your budget, right? Same thing with shidduchim, same thing with dating, same thing, I'm looking for a soulmate. Show me the table, like, who are you, right? And then, what's your budget? How much effort you're willing to put? Those are the two questions. So why we get it on furniture and food and design, we don't get it about our life. How you can look for a match if you don't know who you are, who you're representing, what's kind of, so that's a goz. Goz is the ability to break the walls, to find what's inside, and to find another nuts to get married to. Very important. So, with that we're gonna go to bracha of Adama. I go over here from the sushi I have with this kale, right? It's very healthy, by the way.
Full of oxalates.
Yeah, good for you. It's bitter, but it's fine. So we're gonna say Adama on that, and we also have a ginger from the sushi that we're very, very happy to have. And the blessing will be Adama. By the way, it's also very healthy, ginger. You put it in your tea, you're gonna live forever and ever, So, again, the bracha for Adama, as you remember, it's the ability to connect to our potential. Because everything comes from the Adama. So when you say Adama, you say Hashem, I want to be everything. What do you want to be? Anything specific? Nothing? Want to be everything?
A little bit of everything.
It says that a wise man, smart man, is someone that knows a lot about few things and few things about lots of things. It means you're smart, okay, I know lots of things about I'm a doctor. but I also know a little bit about everything. You know, talk about astronomy, I know, not Dan looking at you, I know. Talk about physics, I know, right? So that's smart. You should know lots about one thing, what's your job, what you're doing, and a little bit about everything, so you can engage and talk and communicate with everyone. ונודע ברכה, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי אדמה.
Amen.
The first guy who's doing ginger on Tu Bishvat. It's good. So, the last bracha we're gonna do today will be the bracha of She'akol. And I want that everyone will have in mind that when we say She'akol Ne'ah B'Dvaro, it's everything become from the words of who?
God.
Of the person who say the blessing. This is the chidush. Because Baruch Ata Hashem Elokeinu Melech HaOlam, right? Baruch Ata. She'akol Ne'ah B'Dvaro. Ata, it's guf sheni, second body, is the guy who's talking to you. Dvaro, it's third body, someone else. So if I'm referring to Hashem as Ata, אני say שהכל נהיה בדברך, right? Your words, they בדברו. So דברו of who? The one who say the blessing, because you create your reality. Connected to what we were saying. And that's why we're taking water, that it's full of potential, pure. And you say שהכל נהיה בדברו, and you ask Hashem in this moment for whatever you want. So I will say this bracha slow. Have in mind whatever you need, if it's parnasa, zivug, briut, whatever you have in mind, and Bezrat Hashem, we're gonna have all of those blessings. ברשות מוריי ורבותיי, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהכל נהיה בדברו.
Amen.
Bezrat Hashem, with all of those beautiful brachot that we did, we're going to have lots of blessings and happiness. I want to have a conclusion for the understanding of Tu Bishvat, because we always talk about tefillot, and part of the tefillah is brachot. Lots of portion of the tefillah, it's blessings. Even Baruch Shamar, Ishtabach, the blessings in the morning. We have to learn one time, all the blessings in the morning are beautiful. The blessings of Shmona Esrei. And that's why it's important. When you have all of those brachot, when you say them, you need to understand that it's not just random words. It brings so much power. We learned today about the date and the olive and the apple and the pomegranate, the fig, so many things that you never realized about. You never thought that in a little apple there is so many sgulot, so many beautiful things. And it's all connected, the numbers, the letters. Like you see Hebrew, it's not just a language that we talk. Everything is there because it all comes from the same source. That's why it's so special. So when you say the brachot, part of the tefillah or not part of the tefillah, should have in mind all of this understanding of I'm connecting to my soul, taking the oil from the olive, squeezing it, making it, and connecting to it. This is the idea. That's why the Kohen Gadol, they used to pour oil on top of them, to anoint them with oil, right? You know, we're always waiting for Mashiach. You know what is Mashiach? What is Mashiach in Hebrew? What is Mashiach? In Hebrew, Mashiach is someone that was anointed with oil. Kohen Mashiach. Eliyahu Navi will come, the prophet, gonna choose a person that he is Mashiach, and will take oil, olive oil, and will pour on top of his head oil to refer that now he's connected to the soul. He's connected, you know, to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's Mashiach. The word Mashiach, it means anointed with oil. So for us to understand, when we're waiting for Mashiach, what are we waiting for? For connection. We're waiting to feel something. In Hebrew, when you say margishim, there is a word that says chashim. You feel it in your bones. Tachash et ze. You feel it inside. When you feel outside, it's margish. You touch. When you feel inside, ani chash, tchusha. Tchusha is like a feeling, right? The word chashim, chet, shin, yud, mem, is the same letters of Mashiach. Because Mashiach is all about feeling it. Some people, maybe for them, they already have Mashiach. I don't know. Some people already in a mindset, they're connected already, and they feel it.
Yep.
And they're there, you know. And that's what we're waiting for, because it's our job. And when you look at the beautiful fruits and everything you have, and you say, "Wow, this is not a random thing. This is something that was created with divine wisdom." When I'm connecting to it, so I'm become, you know, partner. It's me. So apple is poteach, it's kids, parnasa, you know. Date is to be righteous, to be full of heart for Hashem. Figs is the garments of the soul, you know. Nuts is the ability to break the walls, to take all the beautiful things we have inside, you know, to take the grape, to squeeze, to have a wine, to reveal secrets. You all of a sudden understand, oh my God, there's something very special going on over here. And that's Be'ezrat Hashem what we're going to have. So my blessing to all of us. And again, thank you for being here, that we will connect to all of the potential that we have. And by looking on all the fruits and vegetables around us with the different taste and flavor and texture and color and all of that, we're going to understand that all of that we have inside. And then you're going to ask yourself the question that I asked you at the beginning. If you were a fruit, what fruit you'll be? And the answer is what you were saying. You all the fruits. One day, you know, you're a little bit bitter, it's fine. Other day you're sweet. Next day you're a little bit sour. One day you're dry, you know. Other day you're full of juice. It means we are the fruit and we are the tree. Let's make sure that our tree will be full of fruits. And I want to end up with a beautiful story that the Midrash say. There was a guy that was working in the desert, Sahara Desert. By the way, you know what it's Sahara? I told you that. It's desert in Arabic, Sahara. So it's desert. Sahara Desert, it means desert. My son told me that, 7 years old. He's nerdy, he knows everything about everything. He's like, every time I'm talking, he's correcting me about things. You know, so I talk about Sahara Desert. He's like, you know, Abba, you just say desert, you know, right? He says, I don't speak Arabic. Like, why you know that? So the guy's walking in the Sahara and he's very thirsty and he's starving and it's hot and he's about to faint. He doesn't know what to do. And he's walking and it's very difficult for him. And all of a sudden, he sees from far a beautiful tree. He says, let me go to the tree. You know, at least I will have a little bit of shade, you know, a little bit of blocking the sun, the heat. So he go to the tree, and the moment he get there, he see a beautiful spring water under the tree. Oh, fresh water. He wash himself, his face, his feet, drink some fresh water. He feels so good. Cold water. Now he's, you know, sitting under and he's looking. He got a beautiful shade, and he's raising his eyes and he sees that there's fruits, lots of fruits. Take the fruits, eat, enjoy. Now he's not starving. He had water, the shade. He's going to sleep, having the best time of his life, enjoying. The next day, he wake up in the morning. He needs to continue to the city. So he want to bless the tree, and he say, tree, what kind of blessing I will give you? Ilan, ilan, bamea varechecha. How can I bless you? I will tell you that you're gonna have a beautiful shade. You already have tilcha na'em. You're perfect. I will tell you that your fruits will be sweet. Your fruits are very sweet. I enjoy them so much. I will tell you that you're gonna have a spring water under you. You already have with fresh water. What should I bless you? And then he says, you know what? All the plants that they're going to plant from you, they're gonna take the fruits, use the seed to plant a new tree. Those trees will be like you. They're also gonna have a good shade and sweet fruits and spring water under them. Whoever will come from you will be like you. That's the blessing that this man gave to the tree. And this is the blessing that we need to give to ourselves. If you want that your fruits will become like you, make sure you do the job. You have a good shade, sweet fruits, and beautiful spring water of potential and growth. Chazak u'baruch. Thank you, everyone. L'chaim, l'chaim. Take apple.
Amazing.
Take apple before you go.